I believe it, you will see it, the writing on the wall. It's for reason, not for malice, that we watch them fall. The amazing atheist. The amazing atheist. Have you seen it? The stupidity of the ones around you. Can you feel it? The need to rise up from the pits of destitute. The amazing atheist. The amazing atheist. Forging unity, the time is coming to annihilate the ignorant, peddling scum, breathing anger, exhale wisdom, suffocate the indifference. No more complacency. The amazing atheist. The amazing atheist.
Hello. How y'all doing? I can see you guys over there in the chat. It's kind of a weird setup. I decided to do this standing up. Just, need a little exercise. Figure stay on my feet, keep moving and stuff, burn them calories, aid me in my quest for losing weight, especially since I was bad yesterday. Ended up getting a meat lover's pizza, so that's obviously not the greatest thing to do on a diet, but whatever. Fucking whatever, bitch. I do what the fuck I want to do. But then I fucking suffer the repercussions, which is gaining weight back that I lost. So anyway, who gives a fuck? I saw someone in the chat earlier, before I even started broadcasting, fucking say like, why does he always insist on doing these so late? It's like, bitch, I woke up like a couple hours ago. This ain't late for me, okay? I know to your little bitch-made ass, this is some kind of like, oh no, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm supposed to be in bed. I have to work in the morning. But that's your problem, all right? That's your fucking problem. It's your fucking life. This is my life, and I keep the vampire hours, okay? Bram Stoker's Amazing Atheist. What are you going to do? Does TJ look skinnier? Well, goddamn, I'd hope I fucking look skinnier. I lost 20 damn pounds, damn near. Lost 20% of the weight that I'm trying to lose. Trying to lose 100 pounds even. Trying to go from 320 to 220. Trying to see what life is like being skinny. Lost about 20 pounds. Still a little shy of that, but, you know, what you gonna do, right? What the fuck you gonna do? No audio, TJ. Bullshit. I can see that there's audio. Don't fucking lie to me. And if there isn't, fuck you. I'm just going to do this anyway. It's going to just be me silently screaming into a fucking non-working microphone. That's just how it's going to be. I don't give a fuck. See, it's 3 p.m. for that guy. It's 4 in the morning for that one. You know why? Because there's this little thing called time zones, you egomaniacal fuck. Why is it so late? It's not late. It's literally every time. Everywhere on Earth has it's a different time every fucking where. For some people, it's late. For some people, it's early. For some people, it's just when they want it to be, and that's just how the fuck it is, okay? So calm your shit. They're lying. Audio's fine. Yeah, I know they're lying. Every fucking time there's one of those assholes tries to do that shit. They want to fucking make me waste the first fucking 5 to 10 minutes of my stream trying to assess what the fuck is going on. Skeptical Jesus says there's too much audio, for fuck's sake. God damn. Already it's getting hot in here. I fucking was, I'm going to wear this overshirt so I don't fucking, it'll hide my man titties a little bit when I'm walking around, but whatever. It's already too hot for that. I'll turn this fucking fan on. Maybe that'll cool it down a little bit. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I got mentioned, sort of. Yeah, you sure did. There you go again. Don't let them infiltrate your mind, TJ. Yeah, no shit. Dangerous stuff. So, I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about first? You want to do Bill and Ted shit? You want to do politics shit? You guys got any questions? I mean, I don't give a fuck. Whatever the fuck you guys want to do. It's all in the ball. Oh, by the way, Streamlabs, Super Chats, those are both open. You can do that shit. It should pop up right around here, right in this corner. And they'll be read at the end. This is going to be a little bit probably shorter than most streams because a lot of times I have some kind of like outline or shit I want to talk about. This time around, I don't have that. So this is just kind of like free form, whatever the fuck, just yammering shit. Let's see. Bill and Teddo. Bill, take your hat off. 50% of heat reception comes from the head. All right. Fucking hat. Even though my hair looks fucking stupid because I'm growing it back out, and right now it's like super awkward and shit, but that's fine. Yep. Hell yeah. And if I keep getting hotter, I'll just take my fucking pants off too, because, you know, what's that going to mean? Talk about the robot in Bill and Ted. I'm sure, I mean, look, if we're going to talk Bill and Ted, I'll get into all the aspects of the motherfucker, you know what I mean? Thank you. I see the shit coming in. All that shit's going to be right at the end. What's your take on all that? Yeah. That's all going to be right at the end. It's all going to be right at the end, damn it. Keep them coming, but just don't fucking get mad at me for not reading them in the moment. All right. Bill and Ted, we'll start there. So last night, all right, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I get my thoughts in order here, all right? Because I have a bad tendency to be a rambling son of a bitch. I have attention deficit disorder, and as a result, I'm pretty fucking scatterbrained. My thoughts are a jumbled mess. So you're going to have to fucking go on a journey with me, all right? I hope it's a bogus one, all right? So, I like Bill and Ted. I enjoy the Bill and Ted films. The first Bill and Ted movie I watched often when I was a kid. I would watch it on VHS, okay? When Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey came out, I don't remember what year that was, but I do remember that my mom took me to see that one in the movie theaters, okay? So I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on VHS many times growing up. I saw Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in theaters growing up. I watched Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey more times when it came out on VHS it fucking self. Okay? Okay. I enjoy the fucking Bill and Ted movies. As the years have gone by, and the formats where we watch media have changed, I've continued to enjoy Bill and Ted. Get this fucking thing out of here. It's fucking so annoying. I have continued to enjoy Bill and Ted films, okay? I have continued to watch the two existent films throughout my life, whether it be on DVD, whether it be on like a streaming thing, and I guess that's as far as things have got. So I've watched it. I probably watch Bogus Journey a little bit more than I watch Excellent Adventure. Now, I do think Excellent Adventure is the more solid film in many respects. However, I think I personally enjoy Bogus Journey a little bit more because I feel like it's just a little bit more creative. And I think I enjoy the whole, like, heaven and hell and fighting the Reaper and evil robot versions of Bill and I enjoy the conceits of that movie more than I enjoy the time travel plot of the first movie, but I like both films. So these are my credentials as a Bill and Ted fan. Yeah, I did play the Bill and Ted NES game. I never was able to get past the first level. That game is maddening and very poorly made. Did I watch the cartoon? Yes, I did. So I did watch the Bill and Ted cartoon growing up. However, I have basically no recollection of anything that happened in it or whether it was good or not. I suspect that it probably was not, okay? So, that's my relationship to the Bill and Ted films coming into Bill and Ted Face the Music. So let's start with the things about Bill and Ted Face the Music that I enjoyed. So, first of all, the film is a comedy film, right? So, I guess the first question is Bill and Ted Face the Music funny? And I would say that the short answer to that, oh, by the way, spoilers. You don't want spoilers? Get the fuck out. All right. Is it funny? Short answer, yes. Is it hilariously funny? Is it rolling in the aisles funny? No. It's like probably like two of like these, like and it's probably like 8 or 9 of like and it's probably like 12, 13 of like, that's the kind of fucking level of comedy it is. Okay? All right. So that's where it's at on the comedy scale. How about Bill and Ted themselves? How do Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter hold up as these characters after all these years? Is it like a super awkward thing like the Dumb and Dumber sequel? Like Dumb and Dumber, is it Dumb and Dumber 2 awkwardness where it's like this doesn't really work anymore? Or is there still something there? I would say there's still something there. Now the characters, they did not just keep them stagnant. They didn't just say like, Bill and Ted haven't changed a bit. They allowed Bill and Ted to grow up a little bit. They're still recognizably the same characters that they were, but they've clearly aged, not just physically, but their mentalities have changed a little bit. They're not quite as naive as they used to be. They're not quite as hapless as they used to be. They're a little bit older, and yes, actually, a little bit wiser. Now, it's not like they have, they're still Bill and Ted, so it's not like they're like, oh, they're totally different now, and they've matured, and like, but, they've gone through a little bit of that. So, and I would say that they still have good on-screen chemistry with one another. They still work off each other well as comedic actors, and so on and so forth. I know this might be gross, but I'm going to take my pants off, too. Fuck you. I don't need pants for this. You guys can't see my fucking dick. What the fuck I need pants for? Fuck that shit. All right. So, is it funny? Yep. Do Bill and Ted still work as a duo? Yep. How about the daughters of Bill and Ted that you've seen in the trailer? Are they really annoying? Are they pieces of shit? Are they like this fucking super awkward Ghostbusters 2016 kind of shoehorned in like, oh man, fucking ugh. Are they like that? No, not really. Actually, pretty good characters. Sort of more reminiscent, like what the lost youth of Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, like what they've lost by getting older, I think is supplemented pretty well by their daughters in this movie, who play very similar characters to the younger Bill and Ted. So that actually worked pretty fucking well. So let's talk about plot a little bit. Now, here's where we're going to go off on a little bit of a fucking tangent, okay? Let's talk about subverting expectations. Let's talk about the subversion of expectations. Check it out. So, subverting expectations is a good thing, but it's gotten a bad rap, almost exclusively from Rian Johnson's fucking sequel. Like he did the centerpiece of the sequel trilogy to the Star Wars films. It was called the fucking Last Jedi, right? Wasn't that what it was called? Think so. He did it, and it was like a lot of people went around fucking talk about subverting expectations. Like people started using subverting expectations as like a derogatory thing to say, like, oh, subverting expectations. Blah, 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 blah. Like as if the very act of subverting expectations is bad, as if whatever expectations an audience has should just be pandered to and met at every fucking turn. But here's the thing. Subverting expectations is a good thing, or it can be a good thing. Like if you go out to shake someone's hand, they put their hand out so you can shake it, and just as you reach out, they do this little magic flip thing, and all of a sudden they're holding like the ace of clubs. Oh, it's a magic trick. I didn't see that coming. How delightful. How did you do that? That's a subversion of expectations, and it's good, and it's pleasant. There's also a subversion of expectations where it's like they reach out their hand to shake hands, and then when you take it, they pull you in close and knee you in the fucking nuts and rip your shirt over your head and beat the fucking shit out of you. You know that? And that's when subversion of expectations ain't so fucking great. Rian Johnson, with his little attempt at a Star Wars movie, he was trying to do the good subversion where it's like, ha, ace of clubs. But instead, he fucking kicked you in the nuts and beat the shit out of you. Every expectation he subverted in such a way as to piss you off. It all felt like a fucking middle finger. Now, don't get me wrong. I think a bunch of you Star Wars fanboys out there like over hate this movie that he made. That like you hate it too much. Like, it's the worst. In my opinion, anyway, it's not the worst. It's probably the third worst of the main films. I would say Phantom Menace is the worst. And I would say Return of Skywalker or whatever the fuck it is, or Rise of Skywalker, the fucking J.J. Abrams attempt at fixing things just made it even worse. That, to me, is like a total soulless cash grab corporate piece of fucking shit film. So, yeah, I would say that Rian Johnson's movie is a piece of pig shit, but it's not the worst piece of pig shit ever. And then a bunch of SJWs, of course, because the fucking fanboys hate it too much, they gotta pretend like it's the best ever and that Rian Johnson should have directed all the movies because his is so brilliant. And so you got all these people pretending to fucking hate it more than they do, and you got all these people pretending to love it more than they do, and anybody who has an authentic opinion is just lost in the fucking mix. But, you know, whatever. This is not about Star Wars. It's about Bill and Ted. Why did I bring it up? Because the fucking first Bill and Ted movie, the plot of it is Bill and Ted are two fucking losers who are in a band called Wild Stallions. That's just the two of them. They can't fucking play music for shit, but they have a dream. And then it comes to pass that maybe Ted is going to get sent to military school because his grades are so bad. Right? And that's going to break up their band, and it's going to there will be no Wild Stallions if that happens. So a guy named Rufus, played by George Carlin, comes back from the future to help Bill and Ted ace their fucking history test or history speech or whatever the fuck. And he gives them a time machine so that they can go through time and gather historical figures so that they can put on like the greatest fucking history report ever. And the reason that they do this is because Wild Stallions, the band that these two are destined to put together, is going to be so popular and transcendent and artistically potent and powerful that they're going to lay the groundwork for this future utopian society. Okay? Bill and Ted go on their excellent adventure. They gather the historical figures. They get the A on the history report. And Wild Stallions stays together and the future is saved. Now, at the time that Bill and Ted came out, a lot of times sequels to popular movies were just total retreads of the film that happened before. Now, we still see this today, like Hangover 2. Everyone, what was the complaint about that? Everybody said the same thing. It's exactly the same fucking movie as the first one. They just basically remade it and sold it like Home Alone 2. Same deal. It's the same fucking movie. A lot of fucking film franchises were doing this at the time. You know, if a film came out and it was popular, they wanted to rush out a sequel. They didn't bother to come up with a new plot or some new fucking thing to happen. They just sent the fucking same characters, same plot beats, everything's the same. Also, interestingly enough, a connection to Star Wars here, since J.J. Abrams, when he made The Force Awakens, basically hit every single story beat from the original Star Wars. Kind of different in his case because decades had passed and several films had had happened in the interval and all that stuff. But whatever, neither here nor there. What's the topic? See, someone's lost. It's all right. I'm getting to the topic. So, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey comes out. And you might expect that because it is a product of the time when every sequel is the same as the original, that it would be another travel through time and gather important historical figures for some other reason kind of movie. But the plot of Bill and Ted 2 is completely fucking different. It involves a future wannabe despot who hates the utopian society created by the music of Bill and Ted, creating two evil robot Bill and Teds to go back to the past and kill the real Bill and Ted and sabotage their legacy, thus erasing the utopian future that Bill and Ted were destined to create. And Bill and Ted are killed. They go to hell. They end up playing like several board games and shit against the Grim Reaper. Thus they win him as a servant. He takes them up to heaven. They meet God. They get a map that leads them to an alien that is like an alien scientist that builds two good robot Bill and Teds to fight the evil robot Bill and Ted, and whatever. The point is, it subverts fucking expectations. It does not go with the same tired, generic goddamn plot. So how about Bill and Ted Face the Music? Well, it doesn't go as original as Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, that's for sure. It does actually retread elements of the original film. It does have the whole, Bill and Ted traveling through time and gathering historical figures kind of thing. Although Bill and Ted don't do it. In this movie, their daughters are the ones who are going around and they're gathering up famous musicians from different time periods to create like the ultimate band or whatever. So that's what that's kind of like a ripoff from what happened in the first film. But I guess enough time has passed that it's not quite as like, oh man, go that again. You know what I mean? That's not really my problem with the movie though. So I guess this is the part where I got to kind of start shitting on Bill and Ted Face the Music. Okay. This is the part where I have to fucking start laying out my criticism of the fucking film. The plot is as scatterbrained as TJ's drug-addled mind. Believe me, I am stone cold sober right now. If I actually was on drugs, like this wouldn't even make whatever level of sense it's making. So here's my criticism of the fucking movie. There is a giant retcon that is at the center of Bill and Ted Face the Music. A giant retcon. Now, let me fucking say this, first of all. I am not one of these fucking people that is married to the idea that canon must be preserved at all costs. Like, I don't give a fuck when, if a new fucking show comes out in a series like Star Trek or something, like this is Star Trek Picard, y'all, and some dude is like, it doesn't obey canon, though. I think that guy is a fucking dumb shit, okay? I really do. I'm sorry if that guy is you, but fuck you. You're stupid, and you limit what storytellers can do. But there does come a point where canon must be respected. It doesn't have to be respected across the board, but it does have to be respected when what we're talking about is the very essence of the intellectual property being discussed. So, the premise of Bill and Ted, the first two Bill and Ted films, is that the music of Bill and Ted philosophically lays the groundwork for a future utopian society. The power of their art and what they had to say is going to lay the groundwork for a new world, a better world, a world without poverty and disease and all this other shit. It's a ridiculous premise, perhaps, but that is the fucking premise. And that's why Bill and Ted are so important. But Bill and Ted Face the Music completely erases that. Completely erases that. Instead of Wild Stallions, instead of it being the body of work of Wild Stallions that lays the foundation for this utopian future, it's just the case that Bill and Ted at some point are supposed to write a single song that is going to unite all of humanity. Okay? So it's gone from your guys' body of work is going to unite all humanity to and lay like a philosophical groundwork for the society that we're going to create to one, at some point you guys are going to make a song that's so good that it's going to unite the whole world. That's the retcon. And it's so weird because in other ways, the movie goes out of its way to respect the previous two films. But in this way, it just disastrously deviates and just totally fucks the whole thing. And it fucks it even worse because after they retcon it, they don't just do that retcon. They make additional changes to it. Like, it wasn't enough that they retconned it to be something else. They now have to make additional changes to the premise. And it's not even, like, the song is not even supposed to be, like, so good that it unites everybody. It just fucking has some sort of harmonic convergence that's gonna fix, like, a problem with the space-time continuum or some shit. Like, time itself is out of whack, and the only thing that can set it back into fucking motion is Bill and Ted's fucking song. So at this point, Bill and Ted, like the first two movies, like if you fucking consider Bill and Ted Face the Music to be canon, it just totally destroys what happened in the first two. Like the first two movies now don't make any fucking sense. They no longer, they don't make sense anymore. On top of that, when it comes time for Bill and Ted to play the fucking song that this whole movie has been about, they realize, like, whoa, this was never about us. This was about our daughters, man. Our daughters got to do the song. We're just here to support them. It's like, well, then why the fuck is the movie called Bill and Ted? Okay? Why does the people in the future look, why do they venerate Bill and Ted? They should venerate Bill and Ted's daughters if that's the fucking case. And it sucks because the daughters were actually good characters for most of the movie, but then they shoehorn this shit in at the end like, Ghostbusters 2016, bitch. Girl power, the future is female. Like, okay, fine. You know what? If you got such a girl power message, then why the fuck are Bill and Ted's wives, who used to be in the band, all of a sudden just on the sidelines and useless? Like, in the previous film, it established that they were in the band. They were part of Wild Stallions. But then all of a sudden, they're just not? Like, what the fuck is up with that? Doesn't that kind of counteract and contradict this little girl power message you tacked on at the end of the fucking movie? You can't whine about canon but say Star Trek fans are stupid if they care about canon. That's just dumb. Dude, fuck you. I outlined what the fuck I was talking about, you dipshit. I fucking gave you ample caveat to understand what the fuck I was saying, and you still come up with the same dipshit argument as if I just said nothing. Now, that being said, the movie's not that bad. I actually enjoyed it, but I goddamn wish they'd chose a different plot. Like, the plot is where it fucks itself. Like, a lot of the setups are great. Bill and Ted are still great together. There's fucking a lot of, interesting characters. Like, the robot, I don't know how people feel. I thought the robot character was pretty fucking funny. He has, this crisis of, it's not really faith, I guess, but a moral crisis halfway through the movie that's actually pretty fucking humorous. You realize the robot's actually quite insecure with himself and shit. They bring back Death from Bogus Journey, and he's fucking still fun. The characters are fun. A lot of the fucking scenes are fun. There's actually some great fucking scenes in this movie, not even just comedy scenes, but some pretty interesting fucking scenes. There's a scene where Mozart meets Jimi Hendrix and shit, and it's actually done pretty fucking poetically. So there's a lot of good shit in the movie, But I feel like the plot just fucks the entire movie into fucking mush. And it's frustrating. There was no reason to do it. You could have fucking done this same kind of premise. Okay, here's another fucking complaint I have, okay? Bill and Ted's downfall from where they were at the end of the second film is way too fucking unrealistic. It's way too dramatically fucking flawed. I mean, like, they literally went from, at the end of the previous film, they played a concert that was so fucking, like, it was like watched by every fucking single person on Earth. Everyone on Earth saw their show, and they were catapulted to huge mainstream fame and success. And this movie, Bill and Ted Face the Music, the premise is basically that they squandered all of that. Just the entire, like, they went from that to literally no one cares about them again. They're right, like, over the course of, like, the last, few decades. Like, okay, I get that it makes sense their popularity might have waned, but, like, make it realistic. Put them in a position where, like, bands that were popular around that time actually are. Like, where they're doing, like, gigs on, like, cruise ships and shit. Like, oh, it's the Throwback Cruise featuring, Quiet Riot and Wild Stallion. You know what I mean? Like, give them a realistic level of failure. Because, I mean, they're still depicted in this movie as being really great musicians. So it makes no sense that they've just, like, no one cares about them at all. No one wants to listen to them. No one buys their albums. They've just fallen into total and utter obscurity. Like, hey, remember those guys that did that concert that was broadcast to the entire globe and everyone loved it? No, I forgot about that. What was that again? It's like, come on. That's so lame. You could have still had them fall from grace without making it so ludicrously over the top that, like, when they're like, what about our fans, dude? It's like, oh, yeah, well, Bill and, Rachel will be fine. Like making it seem like they literally have, like, a handful of fans to where they know all their fans by name at this point because, like, the entire world just stopped giving a shit. Even about the songs that even one-hit wonders from the 80s can still tour on the power of their hit. You know what I mean? But Bill and Ted don't even have that. So it's kind of ludicrous you could have fucking still made this movie with this premise and gotten rid of these problematic elements that fucking fuck the movie and fuck the lore of Bill and Ted. Now, maybe they just said, hey, it's Bill and Ted. Who gives a fuck about the lore or the canon or whatever? But obviously I do. As someone who grew up with these movies and thought the concept of, hey, these two unassuming guys, these two, like, simple, naive, kind of hapless dudes actually have something important to say to the world. And what they say is going to change fundamentally the way of the world. Like that, whatever you can say about those films, they're silly movies, but there's some power in that message. And this film just totally takes a big fucking piss all over that. Another film franchise killed by the woke brigade. I mean, look, the woke brigade had a little hand in this, but for the most part, it wasn't them. Like, the bad decisions made on Face the Music, other than there's one that I already talked about that I feel like was, like, made for woke points that is pretty bad. But most of these, like, I don't even know why they did it. I don't understand why they made these changes. They don't even, like, you could have still told a very similar story with very similar plot points and setup to what they did without utterly butt-fucking the fucking story of Bill and Ted into the fucking ground. So I don't know. I didn't like it. I did. I don't know how I feel about this film. Because when I think about these elements that they changed unnecessarily, I get really fucking mad. But then I start thinking about moments of the film I enjoyed, and I'm like, ugh. It's like there's a lot about the movie I like, but this is just a big fucking like sour thing. And it's like, if I accept this movie, if I accept it and I embrace it, then it's almost like I'm rejecting the previous two films. And it's like, why am I, as a fan of these movies, being put in this weird fucking position? You know, where if like I want to embrace the good things about this movie, I have to in some ways like fuck over things I liked about the previous two movies. Man, it's fine. It's just Bill and Ted. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. It's not like Star Wars or something where, wow, this is like some huge cultural milestone or some shit. You know, I could see why people would be like, you know, this is a fucking Bill and Ted movie, dude. Relax. Fucking relax. I get it. I really do. But I guess that the Bill and Ted movies were just a little bit more important to me than that. So, people watch movies? Yeah, they do. Why wouldn't they? I don't understand. Like, what do you do? Like, you just fucking sit around and stare at walls and shit? I don't... Like, piss off, bitch. Someone tells me they don't like movies, I just want to fucking saw off their head with a chainsaw. It's like, fuck you then. What good are you to me? Maybe it's a little overreaction on my part, but whatever. I feel bad that they made those choices. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk some politics. Stay tuned. Yeah, I had to turn the AC on in here. I hope the sound of it's not too distracting. I don't know if it's even picking up on this mic or not, but god damn, it was getting hot in this motherfucker, dude. Oof. Okay. I guess I'm going to address this again because I still see people being like, I think it's weird that, you know, TJ just doesn't have any problem with retconning Star Trek, but he's mad about them retconning Bill and Ted. Okay, look, there's different levels of fucking retcon, all right? If fucking Star Trek does some shit where it's like, wait a minute, the Omega Drive was not supposed to be invented till, you know, Stardate 417.362, and this story takes place on Stardate 412968, so therefore, this does not make sense. If that's, like, the level of fucking retcon we're talking about, then I don't give a fuck. But what they did to Bill and Ted, they retconned, like, the fundamental story of the first two fucking films. It would be like the equivalent if the retcon of Star Trek was like, fucking, oh, James T. Kirk? Yeah, no, he wasn't shit. You know, he was just like a freight captain, you know? That's the new story. He was a freight captain. And Picard, he was a fucking sexual predator. You know, like, it just, like, there's a difference between, like, hey, let's change this little story element because this doesn't really work anymore and we want to do this story. Like, that's acceptable to me. Like, a little tweak to canon there. Like, tweaking the canon, making a little change here and there, that's one thing. Being like, hey, like, the fundamental basis of this entire, like, story is now completely different. That's a big fucking change, okay? Star Trek isn't a space show anymore. Now it takes place in the 1800s. It's like, that's the kind of fucking shit we're talking about, all right? So get off my back about this shit. Fuck. Motherfuckers, dude. Like, I mean, like, why? I mean, if you weren't so fucking stupid, I wouldn't have to over-explain shit like this. Like, honestly, you should be smart enough to fucking understand this without me having to hold your fucking hand through it. Like, what are you, a fucking kindergartner? Like, goddamn, get a fucking brain. One neuron, fire to other neuron. Have thought. Make sense. But no, I gotta sit here and exhaustively explain shit to your dumbass. Because you don't get it. You know why you don't get it? It's not because you can't get it. It's because you don't want to think because you're fucking stupid. Anyway, TJ is wrong. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant, dude. Love it. Picard did change the characters and the world completely different, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great, wonderful. You're right, I'm wrong. I'm so stupid. What else we got? Live? Yeah, it is live. Somebody had a bad pooping session. Yep. No, none of my pooping sessions are good. They're all bad. Maybe it's to make you mad. Probably. Okay, boomer. Okay there, boomer. Oh, you boomer. Boomer, why you so boomer, boomer? Okay, boomer. Okay there, boomer. Remember that, boomer? Okay. Boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Interesting point you bring up. However, have you considered? Okay, boomer. It's wonderful. Boomer, boomer, boomer. Okay, boomer. Boomer. What is this? I don't know. What is it? You tell me. Dude has lost the plot. Yep. 2020 sure has gotten a lot of folks going mad. I've always been mad. I mean, just like, go watch through my fucking videos. I promise you, I've always been insane. TJ is a Karen now. Another one. Another one. Okay, boomer. Uh-oh. Okay, boomer, no work. What else we got? Oh, TJ is Karen now. Oh, you Karen, boy. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, boomer. Okay, Karen. Ooh. Yep. You got me. You fucking got me. I'd like to speak to your manager, chat. This chat is upsetting me. I'd like to speak to its manager, please. Not mad, differently sane. I like it. Insane TJ is best TJ, next to drunk TJ because he is still insane. That's good. Dude, I love lentils. Who fucking cares? I don't care that you love lentils, bitch. The fuck are you yammering about? All right. Let's, according to canon, TJ isn't supposed to be this crazy yet. Oh, shit. Taking my own words against me now. So I guess we could talk about how weak the Democrats are, if you guys want. So we've been seeing this line lately This line by Trump, by the Trump cronies, by the Trump sycophants on social media, by the Trump sycophants on normal, plain old dinosaur media. And the line is, man, it's Democrat-run cities. All the violence, all the unrest, all the rioting and burning and looting and killing is all happening in these Democrat-run cities. If only we had good Republican-run cities. Let me ask you guys this. First of all, if these cities were enjoying unprecedented prosperity and, crime was dramatically down, do you think the Democrats running these cities would be getting credit from Trump? Do you? Nope. Guess what? If good things were happening in the cities, Trump would be like, "Yeah, I done it. That was me. I done it again. I just got the magic touch. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Everything I touch turns to gold." That'd be the fucking line from Trump and his cronies then. But when bad things happen, these Democrat-run cities, man. These Democrat-run cities, hotbeds of violence, anarchists, Antifa, thugs running around, murdering people, burning things down, stealing shit. It's all a lie, folks. It's all a lie. So, I wonder why it is that the buck doesn't stop with Trump, right? Isn't the buck supposed to stop with the president? I mean, the civil unrest seems like it's happening. It's like this isn't happening a few months into his administration. This is happening when he's been president for 4 fucking years. And yet, none of the responsibility is his. It's all local city governments. They're 100% to blame, and he is blameless. If they would just unshackle my hands, I could go in there. I could solve the problem. Well, what is his solution? Well, all these people are protesting against police brutality, right? So Trump's solution is, we just need to get some brutal police in there to brutalize them. It's like bunch of people protesting because the cops are too violent, and Trump's solution is more violent cops. We can quell this if we just get more cops, more violence, make these people too scared to protest, and then it'll all be done and over with. All right, so as far as the results of this upcoming election go, I don't have a prediction. I don't know if it's going to be Joe Biden or if it's going to be Donald Trump. But I do have predictions about what happens after either of those events. All right? And I hope I'm wrong on these predictions I'm about to lay out to you, because they're both pretty fucking dire. So here's what I see. Donald Trump wins. The people who hate Donald Trump are already in a burning shit down kind of mood. Okay? So Trump wins. Way more shit's going to get burned down. These riots that we've had so far, what little remnants of social order there are going to just go bloop. They're going to fall. It's going to fall completely into the fucking ocean. There's going to be massive fucking rioting across this country. Massive fucking bloodshed. Massive property destruction. Massive looting. It's going to be from sea to shiny fucking sea. And with that, there's going to be all kinds of armed redneck Trump supporters that come out of the woodwork and start fucking shooting people. And it's going to be bloodshed. There's just going to be violence, and it's just going to be terrible. Just like the social order is going to completely and utterly fucking collapse. And Trump is going to be powerless to stop it. Everything he's going to do to stop it is going to make it worse. Even if he does finally get control, it's just going to be like by enacting like utter despotism. Like, and America is just going to become like an overt police state and an authoritarian regime. And then it's goodbye any vestige of freedom that existed here. We're just going to be exactly the same as China, exactly the same as Russia. There's not going to be anywhere to escape from these despotic, authoritarian superpowers that dominate the globe. That's what I think is going to happen if Trump wins. If Biden wins, it's not going to be much better, if at all. Here's what I see happening if Biden wins. If Biden wins, all the Trump supporters, especially like the QAnon sect, are going to say that this is a coup by the deep state. They're going to say the election results are not valid. They're going to believe that like the government has been taken over by like a leftist insurgent movement. A lot of them already believe this anyway, even though Trump is in office. And they're gonna, even though there's no leftist policies being enacted in America, they're still gonna think like, oh my God, the communists have taken over. Even though the Democrat Party is fucking completely pro-capitalist, they're gonna be like, oh my God, no! They're trying to bring communism to America. And they're gonna go lick their wounds. Now, they're not gonna go out and destroy shit. They're too complacent, they're too fat, they're too stupid. They're not gonna do that. Some of them might come out and protest and stuff, but I don't think their protest would be as violent as the anti-Trump people's protests. But here's what I think they're going to do instead. I think that they're going to go so far off the deep end that the Republican Party is going to start nominating candidates who basically are Alex Jones level off their fucking rocker. Like, it's going to be a debate. Like, we're going to watch, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Biden wins, and then 4 years later, he's debating someone who literally is like talking Alex Jones shit, like about reptilians and the elite, like eating the pituitary glands of children to remain forever young, and like secret satanic covens and shit. Like all that becomes mainstream. And that's the new Republican Party, is just like a batshit, wingnut, fringe fuck party that has like completely untethered itself from anything even resembling fucking reality. And that too is going to lead to disaster. So the only way that we can negate, at least in my mind, negate what is going to fucking happen here, is that we have to destroy these two parties. Like, Democrats and Republicans, as far as I'm convinced, they gotta go. Like, the next 4 years, whether it be Trump, I mean, if it's Trump, I think the whole system's going to fucking collapse. But whether it be Trump or it be Biden, if there's any sort of system to still work within, like, our number one job has got to be, like, destroy these parties. Just destroy them utterly and completely. You know, whether that means... like, it might mean in the case of the Republican Party, it just has to be dismantled. In the case of the Democrat Party, I think we might be able to, like, reform certain elements of it and just change it into something else. But I don't know if we have time to do that. So it might be better off to just start from fucking square one and build something new. We certainly don't have time to do it before the results of this election. I would say that the conditions would probably be better for it under a Biden than it would be under a Trump, because I think, once again, that if Trump gets reelected, like, the entire social order is going to collapse. These are my predictions, of course. You can feel free to have different points of view and different ideas about how it's going to go down. Maybe you think that I'm totally off base on that, and if that is the case, just ignore this. Because, you know, predictions of anybody are famously prone to being wrong. How do we go about destroying these parties exactly? I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. I know that I feel like it's a necessity to do it, but I don't have the idea of how to do it yet. A one-party system sounds like fascism. Who said anything about a one-party system, bitch? I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. Thank God no more Bill and Ted crap. Kick that guy out of here. Kick him out. I don't want him. And if I have any mods in here, kick Adrian Peterson the fuck out of my fucking room. You don't criticize what I talk about. This is my channel, bitch. TJ, have you not seen or heard about the People's Party convention? I have heard about it. I heard it happen today. I saw it was trending on Twitter. I haven't taken a look at it yet. I see that it's like 5 hours long. I might go and watch it at some point and decide whether or not it's worth a fuck. But, I mean, I like some of the names involved. I really like Nina Turner. I like Cornel West. I like Jesse Ventura. So quite a few names attached to it I do like. So I'm kind of interested to see what they have to say. And maybe they're going to offer the alternative that we need to the Democratic Party. But I don't think that they're capable of doing it this election cycle. So as of now, I'm saying vote for Biden if you decide to vote. But then set to work at dismantling his party. Freedom of thought is what America needs. Political parties are holding us back. I kind of agree with you on that. I almost wish that we could just abolish the concept of the political party. I don't know that humanity is quite ready for that, but I certainly think we need more robust options than these two. I think we need to get rid of first past the post voting, switch to some kind of like tiered voting system. There's different names for it, none of which I can seem to remember at the moment. But ranked choice voting, basically. You sound like Alex Jones. Okay, cool. I don't know how I do, but whatever, dog. Sounds great. Have money, TJ. Thank you. Amy Klobuchar is what the electorate craves. Whatever fucking section of the electorate craves Amy Klobuchar should not be allowed to vote. Like, their ability to vote in elections should be stripped away from them. Like, if you show up to a primary or something and fucking cast a vote for Amy Klobuchar, you should be removed from the democratic process permanently. I'm sort of joking. Sort of. Yeah, ranked choice, instant runoff. Those are the names. I'm vegan and I hardly ever eat lentils. That's kind of weird because lentils are pretty good. I don't know why there's all this lentil talk going on. I just had some fucking lentil soup the other day. The two-party system has set all Americans up for some flawed arguments. Tell me about it. I realize that both of our political parties at this point are regressive parties. The Democrats, to me, seem to be stuck in the year 1992. They want it to just perpetually be the Clinton years and the Clinton administration over and over again. It's like they cannot get past that glory day, you know? Like, they're like, oh, if only we could have the Clinton years forever. Oh. The Democratic Party will improve dramatically the moment that every single person in power in that party that remembers the Clinton years dies. Because that fucking, like, ideal is definitely holding that party back tremendously. Like, you know, like, they still think it's 1992, and they long for that. The Republicans, I don't even know what fucking they long for. I know that they look to the past. I know they want to restore some time in the past, but you can't get a specific year on them. Because it's kind of like they want to mix and match different elements of the past. Like, some shit, they want to take us back to, like, before the fucking Enlightenment, for fuck's sake. Like, they want to go way the fuck back. Other shit, they just want to take us back to, like, the 50s. And when it comes to capitalism, I think they only want to take us back to the 80s. So, yeah, they got some problems over there in that party. Well, both of them do, but the Republicans, they're not even sure what time they're trying to take us back to. At least the Democrats, you can identify the exact year that they want it to be. But both of them are looking at the fucking past. Neither of them are living in the present, and neither of them are looking to the future. So it's a sad state of affairs politically in America right now. I also get amused, by the way, at all you Trump supporters, and I see some of you in there in the chat. I get amused by you Trump supporters that talk about, we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to lose. Oh, don't get me wrong. Trump might win. That could happen. That could very easily happen. Trump could very easily get a second term. In fact, I pretty much think that Trump or Biden is pretty much a coin flip right now. Trump could win, but you ain't winning. Because if Trump wins, America loses. If Biden wins, America probably still loses. But with Trump, I feel like it's pretty much certain. But of course, I'm just one man. You know, my predictions, I don't have a great track record of predicting things or anything. Oh, wait, I do. I even predicted the rise of Trump before Trump even announced his fucking candidacy. I told you guys there was going to be some dumb fuck billionaire that fucking bought his way into American politics and was just going to speak the language of the dumbs and get elected by the dumbs and become a president for, by, and of the dumbs. And lo and behold, it happened. You can go back. I forget the exact videos. There was 2 videos I said this shit in. So I predicted the rise of Trump before Trump even was a fucking thing, or at least before he was a political thing. You are wrong. That's great, buddy. I guess we'll see, won't we? I predicted Kamala Harris was going to be the VP long before anyone else did. Way before. That's on the record. I predicted that Trump was going to win. When he fucking did announce, even when everyone thought he was a joke, I took him seriously. But yeah, just ignore my predictions. Why not? It's not like I have a good track record. Look, am I saying everything I've ever said prediction-wise has been correct? No. It hasn't. I've been wrong, and I could be wrong about this. I'm not 100% confident in it. There's plenty of fucking variables I haven't factored in. But I don't know. If I were you guys, I'd take it seriously. TJ, leftist confirmed. There's no such thing as a leftist. Trump may win, but you ain't winning. That is true. Our lives will not improve. This feels like cope. Okay. Well, you cope with the apocalypse that you bring. I know I'll have to cope with it too. We're all going to have to cope with whatever bad decision America makes. Because let's face it, there's no good option here. And whatever happens, I can guarantee you the future ain't bright. You know, we might eventually be able to pull ourselves out of the fucking miasma of our own stupidity, but I don't really think it's likely. Never underestimate America's capacity for stupid. Oh, I never do. Do I speak Spanish? No. I don't know why I had to think about it. Do I? I'm sure Chelsea will stream again soon. This is actually an emotional breakdown. Poor dude. Aw, yeah, poor me. I love that shit, man. If anybody on the fucking right displays emotion, it's like, wow, that's so powerful. Like, remember when John Ashcroft was a thing and like every fucking speech he gave, he'd always cry. If Trump gets pissed, it's like, oh, look at his righteous anger. But if someone on the other side of the aisle gets pissed, if some left-winger gets pissed, like, oh, triggered. Facts don't care about your feelings, bitch. Oh, this is just sad. Look at him trying to cope. Oh, we got him now, boys. Whoever has an emotional reaction first loses. Except it only counts if you do it. If we do it, it's passion. We are passionate. You're emotional. We're passionate. Shut up, you fucking twat. Why does CJ have so many Trump ball washers in his stream? Oh, they're always in here. They cling to my ass like little turds. Good for them. Has TJ gone mad with power? No, I've gone mad without power. I wish I was mad with power. That'd be cool. I do plan to take over the world, so that's my current scheme. Yes, because emotions are for the weak. I don't know if you're being intentionally stupid or... Emotions don't belong in this debate. Passionate is emotional too. No logic from either side, just craziness. Yeah, whatever. You're not Spock, bitch. Shut up. Because you leftists aren't in control of your emotions control you. Okay. You're right. There's been so many instances where I've seen that, like, you right-wingers, you guys have your emotions under control. Like, us left, we're triggered by all kinds of stupid shit. Like, oh, the Trump administration's locking children in cages at the border. Oh, I'm too emotionally compromised to rationally see that that's actually good. Oh my God, the Trump administration set the military on the citizens of our country, but I'm just too emotional about it. I just can't see that actually makes sense. I wish I could be like you fucking conservatives, where it's like you're not ruled by your emotions at all. Like, you know, you only get upset about things that really matter. Like, oh my God, that football player is kneeling for the national anthem! What happened to America? Hope you're picking up on my sarcasm, because I'm laying it down pretty fucking thick, bitch! Anyway. Right-wingers are the most emotionally fragile fucking child mentality stupid dipshits that could ever be conceived of or imagined. Okay? You are ruled by your emotions. I, on the other hand, can yell and scream and be fucking pissed at how stupid you are, but then pull back and be totally calm and reasonable. Because I, unlike you, am in control of my emotions. I know a dude who constantly makes fun of triggered libs but gets upset when he sees Black Lives Matter logos at NFL games. Yeah, that's like it. Oh my God, they're so... I'm going to trigger the libs, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna go trigger me some libs. There's only two genders, libtard. Oh, look at them get triggered. I think that black man deserved to get shot by the police because he didn't obey. Look at them now. They're so triggered, boy. Woohoo! What's that? What's that? Someone's disrespecting my country's flag? No! 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 Oh, God, why? Why? What you done? No! These colors don't run, boy! Why would you disrespect the flag? My granddaddy died face down in the mud in Iwo Jima for that fucking flag. Why are you doing this? Right-wingers are a bunch of pussies. That's all I'm saying. Bunch of emotional, crybaby, pussy baby bitches. Anyway, Neither here nor there. Yeah, I like the flag too. I like the American flag. I do. I got one hanging out from my house, waving in the wind. I like the American flag. I'm a patriot. I really am. People don't believe me. But I do. I love America. But you know what? The thing I love about America is not the fucking flag. It's the freedom that flag represents. And part of that freedom is the freedom to piss on that flag if you want to. Part of that freedom is to say, fuck America, if you want to. Part of that freedom is kneeling for the national anthem, if you want to. Part of that freedom is saying, fuck the dominant culture, fuck the dominant religion. I don't give a fuck who's triggered by it. I stand alone. I have individual rights. That's what I'm talking about. How the fuck did this get so panned out? Pan it in. Yeah, thanks for the StreamLab or Super Chat or whatever it is. They will be read momentarily. I'm not saying all right-wingers, by the way, are easily triggered. Just like I'm not saying all left-wingers aren't easily triggered. But what I'm saying is there are overly emotional people on both sides of this political aisle. And I really don't even like saying both sides because it makes it seem like there's two sides when in fact there are, what's the population of America again? Like 330 million? There's 330 million sides, or however many people there are. And some of them are emotional, and some of them aren't. And certain people are ruled by emotions. Other people rule over their emotions, and it's all on a fucking spectrum. I know a lot of people, especially on the right wing, are really uncomfortable with spectrums. But that's what's going on here. Sorry. Nobody else does that, though. No rights to push back against your particular form of idiocy. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. TJ's throat's going to hurt later. He should have some water on him. I don't need water. I have American water. Ice cold, refreshing, Coke, zero sugar. It's better than water. It's capitalism water. I have those lentils, you're right. I don't know what the lentil meme is, but yeah, I love lentils. Love to squish them lentils between my balls. Smoke a cigarette. I haven't smoked a cigarette in 3 months, 4 months. I don't know when I quit. It's been a while, though. I miss them, but I haven't gotten weak enough to smoke one. So that's good. I did get weak on my diet yesterday and order a big meat lovers pizza, but goddamn, I need to cheat on my diet every now and then, man. I can't fucking just eat vegetables all the fucking time, you know? I don't really eat, like, super healthy, but I stay within a calorie limit. But yesterday, I definitely went over. But that's okay. You know? Change is slow, and a lot of times it requires not just a consistency of effort, but if you fall off that wagon, if you end up ordering the meat lovers pizza, you know, you eat that shit, but then you get right back on your fucking diet, you know? That's what I've done. That's why I've lost nearly 20 pounds. Still haven't quite reached the 20-pound mark, but goddamn, I'm close. And hopefully it won't be long now. I hope that I can tell you guys on my Twitter in a few days, hey, I lost 20 pounds, everybody. Like, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping I can fucking tell you guys I lost 20 pounds because that means I'm 1/5 of the way towards my goal of going from 320 to 220 and becoming a scrawny bastard. Now, once I get to 220, I don't know if I want to stay at 220. I don't even know if I can get to 220, first of all. Like, if I get to, like, 240 and I'm looking like I'm already starting to look like super thin, I might just say, good enough. But if I do get to 220, I don't know I'll necessarily stay there. Because, you know, kind of part of the fun of losing all that weight is now I get to gain some back, you know? So maybe I'll go on, like, a super long eating binge and gain back 20 of those pounds. But, you know, whatever. It'll be fun. You know, that's why I'm doing this standing up, honestly. I was like, you know, sitting down and streaming, that doesn't burn no calories. At least this way I'm standing up, I'm moving around, I'm moving my fucking body. Obviously, my energy level is better when I'm doing it this way. People seem to like it. Other people seem to hate it, but that's equally as good. Have an emotional fucking reaction to what I'm doing here, you know? I don't want no like, oh, I don't know, whatever. Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there, yo. I should probably yell again. It seems like I get more people in here when I yell more. So someone pissed me off somehow. Chat is always cancer. Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe I should read the Streamlabs and Super Chats now. How long have I been doing this? About an hour and a half. I think we could go a little longer before we read those and call it a night. But I said pretty much what I wanted to say. I talked about the Bill and Ted thing. I talked about the politics things I had on my mind. So at this point, I don't really have much else to say. So maybe I should just get into the Streamlabs and shit. Yeah, I think I'll do that, I guess, because I'm pretty much done with what I came here to say. Maybe I'll do another. I don't know. Sorry, had to turn that on. Okay. Test, 1 2 1 2. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, there was for real no sound for a second. Sorry about that. Okay. Donations. Let's see. What's today? The 30th? Okay. Read from the start here. Isaac Gladstone. Yo. I think that's actually from yesterday. Sal gave $2.37 and said, Chez Ben Flint. I don't know what that means. Sounds French. Henry's friend gave $2 and said, maybe it's the red light, but you're out of focus. I don't think I am. I think the red light just kind of makes things look a little blurry. Red usually does that as a color, so I wouldn't worry about it. Anyway, shut up. Could you explain to my dumbass friend what nuking Japan was probably not justified? It probably wasn't. I mean, the war was pretty much already winding down. Then again, you know, Japan did have this sort of national mentality of we got to fight till the very last of us. And I guess you could argue that the nuclear strikes did sort of take the wind out of their sails and make them realize that they were fighting a pointless battle that they could never win. I remember watching a documentary about my favorite director, Akira Kurosawa, where he was talking about how when he was a kid, the Emperor of Japan came on the radio and was talking to and basically said like, everyone expected the Emperor of Japan to basically just tell everyone in Japan to ritualistically kill themselves and like accept shame and stuff. So like if the whole country was ready to commit suicide. So that's how, prepared these people were to die for their fucking country. So maybe it was necessary, but I happen to think that we probably could have reached a diplomatic solution, and America just wanted to flex its military muscle and show off its new toy to scare the shit out of not just Japan, but the rest of the world. So yeah, I guess it's a little bit murkier than that, but for the most part, I don't think it was justified. Kyle's cock holster gave 666 and said, has your relationship with Kyle become at all strained after you tried to set him and Vosh up on a blind date? Yeah, it seems like it has. I don't know for sure because he hasn't outright said anything like that, but I did give him a phone number that I had his phone number. I switched my number. I gave him my new one, and I'm like, hey, it's TJ. This is my new number, and he never responded. So I don't know if he's just like done with my ass or what, but I mean, all I did was try to set up a fucking debate. I don't really see how that's a big sin or something. Still like his shit anyway. Whatever he feels. Slain Hope gave $10 and says, what's your hot take on the Portland shooting last night? I've been edging all day waiting for your take. So I only just heard about this shooting very casually, like moments before I was streaming. And I don't really know. I don't really have a take on it yet. You might have noticed though that I didn't talk any shit about that Kyle Rittenhouse or whatever the fuck his name was. I'm probably getting his name wrong, but the dude that everyone was having, like, everyone was trying to get a slam dunk out of that shit, Like, everyone was trying to be like, it was 100% justified for him to shoot those. No, it wasn't. It's fucking 100% bullshit. He's a murderer. No, he's just defending himself. I'm like, I'm not even touching this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I stayed out of that because I'm like, this is just too fucking muddy and murky. There's no one's going to get a slam dunk out of this shit. There's no point in trying for one. Just fucking move on. That was my opinion on that one. I don't know what my opinion is on this new one. Thug gave $2 and says, hey, TJ, I'm not even a little gay, but whenever I watch one of your videos, I get filled with so much lust I can barely contain myself. Well, yeah, obviously. I'm the hottest fucking piece of ass in existence, so that makes sense. Southside 99999 gave 666 and says, I know Abandon Hope was yesterday, but saw today they're remaking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Kevin Hart and Will Smith. Not many better reasons to abandon hope than that. I agree with you. I think we talked about that on an episode of The Grease Trap, or maybe it was an episode of Flash Fried or something. But anyway, it's an awful decision, and I hope that it doesn't happen. I hope that somehow it doesn't happen. Like Will Smith drops out, Kevin Hart falls off the Empire State Building, like something will hopefully intervene on that one. Matt gave 666, says, your streams have lifted my spirits during this horrible, shitty year. Keep doing your thing, bro. Of course I will. Thank you very much. Freakadelic gave $4.50 and says, people say it's just a movie as if it's beyond criticism. One can also say the Constitution is just a piece of paper. Yes, true, but like movies, it's about the core ideas contained within the frivolous element. Also, at what point is art okay to criticize? I mean, I think it's always okay to criticize any work of art. I don't know that Bill and Ted is really super comparable to the Constitution, but, I like Bill and Ted. Slain Hope gave $10 and says, whose side will you'll be on in the white versus white race war? I'm going to go with white, I guess. Dusty gave 666, probably not Cult of Dusty, probably a different Dusty. TJ, I'm lefty too, but childbirth obviously shouldn't be a right. I don't know what that means. Slain Hope gave $9 and says, the country was founded on no taxation without representation. Our leaders no longer represent us. So what are we paying taxes for? So that they don't lock us in jail. Purple to the Max gave 666, says, bravo, TJ, great performance. Thank you. Crag Care gave 667 and said, happy to hear you're losing weight, but does the prospect slash image of a Finn TJ seem at all strange or off to you? Yeah, but the prospect of a TJ that can't walk because his legs are worn down from years of carrying a 320-pound frame also sounds unappealing. Bet Noir gave $6.69. It says, thanks for giving us such consistently good content throughout the years. I'm trans male to female, and I got a big dick. Awesome. When it's time for it to go, do you want it so you can have a big dick? If that, like, they need to do that, man. Like, if we can find a medical professional to attach your dick to my body, that's fine. I'll do it. But here's the thing about it. I believe that they actually use pieces of your dick to fashion your vagina out of, so you need it. It's not going to be available for purchase, unfortunately. Moon gave $6.66 and says, TJ, if you had no choice, which would you rather fight, a full-grown male grizzly bear or a scorpion the size of a minivan? Well, once again, the reason insects don't get that big is because their external skeletal structures cannot support that kind of weight. So a scorpion that size would simply collapse under its own weight and die. So I will fight that because it can't even survive just existing. Hey, TJ, I've been itching to get into... Oh, sorry. This is from Naru for $3. I've been itching to get into Akira Kurosawa movies more. I've seen Seven Samurai. What movies could you recommend that are a must-see from him? I mean, his almost entire body of work is made of must-sees. You really can't go too wrong. But I would say that some of my favorites would be Yojimbo, its sequel, Sanjuro. I also enjoy Throne of Blood. Throne of Blood is good. There's one, it's not one of his more popular works, but I really enjoy the movie Red Beard. That's a good one. Rashomon, of course, classic. Yeah, that's a pretty good place to start. Let's see if any more Streamlabs came in. Nope, let's switch over to the Super Chats. All right, go to the beginning of these. I think they begin right here. Thank you for making my shift more interesting. I thought for a second that you said making my shit more interesting. That was from Evan Goers for $2. Billy Boy Blue gave $5 and says, once a little bit closer, you're my kind of man, so big and strong. Come a little bit closer, I'm all alone, and the night is so long. Okay, you're obviously referencing something that I'm not aware of. Downright Superb gave $5 and says, is the song supposed to sound like a Manatee song? Is it tongue-in-cheek? Also, why do people say skinny? Excess skin? Just say thin. Okay, I don't know, buddy. I'm not sure. Zachary Hill gave $4.99 and says, in the alternate reality where you didn't find internet fame, what day job do you think you settled with? Probably international assassin. Chaos and Rush gave $10 and says, I tried to ask you this before, but it didn't go through. Would you ever consider making a comprehensive video on overpopulation and how it contributes to climate change and economic disparity? Stay safe. Yeah, sure. I'd probably make that, I guess. I think it probably needs to be made, considering I see an enormous amount of people who should know better saying that overpopulation is a myth. It's not a myth. At least I don't think it is. I remain unconvinced that it's a myth. Death Dealer. Sorry, let me move this out of the way. Death Dealer 312 gave $5 and says, a lot of people I know are defending the Kenosha shooter, bootlickers, shaking my head. Did you cover it yet? Now, I already talked about why I didn't cover this. I feel like there's too many mitigating factors to try to make political hay out of that incident. Like, I feel like I can't really definitively side with either side or the other. To me, it just comes across as like a messy human story, and I really can't say one way or the other how I feel about it. I feel like both sides have some points about it. And once again, I hate saying both sides, but it's like so ingrained in the language. But yeah, I don't really feel like super strong about that case one way or the other. I think that people should probably stop trying to make more of it than is actually there. Taco Face Fart gave $5 and says, thoughts on DFF equals OAN versus Fox News. Also, the Clintons are spreading COVID to empower the deep state. The way to fight it is to go to church and vote Trump. Wow, you may be right. I don't really watch any OAN. I've never really seen their coverage. I've heard that it's really crazy right-wing shit, but I've never actually seen it, so... Downright Superb, again, with the $5, says track fans weren't mad about canon. They were mad that Picard didn't act anything like Picard. It's stuck too close to canon. Ignore Romulus's destruction. I feel like... I don't really feel like Picard was all that different. Obviously, he was older and a little bit disenfranchised, but he still fundamentally, to me, came across like the same character. But obviously the years had an effect on him. As they tend to do on people. I don't really see why you'd want your character to just like nothing happened to him in the last 20-something years. He's the same. It's like, what? Donnie Slime 21 says, gave $2. It says, what is your great philosophy on D's nuts? My philosophy is, suck 'em. Fat Ass Dogs gave $4.99 and says, big fan, but I like Trump, and I think you don't give him enough credit. Well, hey, maybe you're right. Emily Panda gave $2 and says, you and Scotty have hot wives, man. Thanks. Mr. Naughty Priest gave 50 very generous dollars and says, have money, TJ. Thank you. I will. Stan Vanderbend gave $2.29 and says, thoughts on Brett Weinstein's Unity 2020 plan. I don't know what that is. Ekam Onaram gave $10 and says, if Justice Dems get enough people into the House, AOC and others need to take that opportunity to create a third party. It's not big enough of a group to break away yet. Maybe that is the solution. Zach Swasta gave $5 and says, Trump 2020 is just the American version of Allahu Akbar. Maybe. Yidna Papa gave $6.66 and says, love you, TJ. Can you please say Itzwa Eshes Adley? I don't know what I just said. Hopefully it wasn't anything too offensive. Balthazoth Rainier gave $2 and says, you still not smoking, TJ? Nope, haven't touched it. Murphy gave $19.99 and says, ha 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 ha, BLM, try not to get triggered. Blake gave $1.49, didn't say nothing. Nightcore C12 gave $5, says right-wing people need science books in history book shoved inside their brain. Will Fedrich gave $5 and says, off topic, what's your thoughts on RC Cola? Dude, I like RC Cola. I don't really know why was anyone shit on RC Cola? It's cheap and it's good. Certainly better than Pepsi. I'd rather, if I was at a restaurant and they didn't have Coke, I'd much rather hear that they had RC Cola than Pepsi. I'll put it that way. Joe McEldery gave $5. It says, I love you, TJ. I was never quite as freaking fat as you are, but losing weight was the best thing that ever happened to me. Keep going, please. I am. Jehoshaphat Davey gave $5 and says, do more squats. I'll try. Danny Mercedes gave $3.33 and says, do you play poker? What's your favorite way to gamble? I'm much more of a roulette player. I'm not really much of a poker fan. McNoodle Sailor gave $5, says, look me in the camera lens, Daddy TJ. I'm so close. Okay. Hopefully that was good for you. I know we have more come in since that. Oh, man, all kinds. All right, so Moonbeam gave $6.66, says, blessings of the dark moon upon you, TJ. You help make my night shift job more bearable while working with my horrible manager, who me and my coworkers call the wicked bitch of the West. Sorry. Hopefully a house will fall on her. Ray Gunner Gaming gave $6.66, says, yo, CJ, some dumbass at my work literally told me that they believe that some people just deserve to have expensive clothes, bags, etc. over other people. How the fuck do I escape this capitalist hellhole? I think it's funny that a coworker of yours said that. I'm assuming that he probably does not have those things himself. So basically, they've conditioned him to the point where he now believes he doesn't deserve anything better than his menial shit job. And it's people like him that prop the system up. Because if it weren't for poor people who somehow believe they deserve poverty even though they work hard, then the system wouldn't work. And hopefully people like him will have an awakening one day and rise up and, well, you know. Moonbeam 666 says, is there a difference between anarchism and communism, as they both have an end result of a society run by people and governed by people without use of actual government? But I could be wrong. Your thoughts? They're not mutually exclusive, no. Not all anarchism is communism, and well, when it comes, I guess all communism is anarchism. But then you'd have to say that there's never actually been a communist state, which I think is a cliche at this point. It seems like if you're going to try to attempt to make communism happen again, then you're going to have to ignore the idea that an authoritarian socialist state can eventually train people to become communist and self-organize, because obviously that doesn't work. The society will never progress beyond that authoritarian socialist state. It will eventually collapse. And, you know, as authoritarianism typically does. So I don't know. If you want to get to communism, you're going to have to take a different road there. But as far as anarchism goes, yeah, anarchism, not all anarchism is necessarily communism, I guess. But they are the two things are pretty strongly linked. And let's see, do we have any more of these? Okay. We got Karush, gave 666, says thoughts on thoughts. Yeah, thoughts are good. I like bimbos. I like girls with big asses and big tits that like to show off their big asses and big tits. That pleases me greatly. So I would say I'm pro-thought. And I really don't understand why anyone would feel otherwise. But I guess some people do. Good for them. Optimistic Nihilist gave $3, didn't say shit. Princess R gave $3, says, do you prefer fight scenes with fists or weapons? Typically fists. I think it's more interesting to watch two people compete with just their bodies, but weapons can be interesting too. Greg gave $1, didn't say anything. Silas gave $5 and says, I wanted to contribute something. We haven't crossed paths on stream before in Twitter DMs, and I just want to say I appreciate you. Your content is great. Thank you. Janet Reed gave $5 and says, I've never donated before, but I wanted to say, keep up the grind. TJ, your future self will thank you for it. Thank you, Janet. Very kind of you to say. FTM Horrors gave $2.50 and says, tiny dicks are hot. Fight me. I'm not going to fight you. I mean, if you want to spread the word that tiny dicks are hot, I can only benefit from the propagation of that information. So yay. And I think that catches me up with my donations, and now it's just kind of a matter of, do I continue this stream? Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take a little break from streaming, and then I think I'm going to come back and just do like a casual stream for my patrons only. So if you're a patron of mine, if you're a patron of Pessimist Productions, then a little bit later tonight, I will continue streaming and talking with just the chat and do like a casual stream. I'll probably do that in like 30 minutes to an hour. Unless Paul starts streaming. If Paul starts streaming, I'll just let you guys go over to his Ideology channel and watch that, and I'll go do something else with my time. But if he doesn't stream, then I'll probably just continue streaming over on my Patreon for my patrons. If not, then I'll probably just fuck off for the rest of the night. But I do want to thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I know it got a little heated at certain points, but you know, please try to remember that my anger is often theatrical, and you know, it's done for entertainment purposes. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love each and every one of you. Peace the fuck out. And take care of yourselves, because I only see this world getting crazier.